Chapter 11. Lauren Wagner seemed like the girl next door. At 18, she was still living with her parents and siblings in an unpretentious rambler on Lamona Street, near Sepulveda Boulevard in the San Fernando Valley. Lauren remained at home while she completed her studies at a nearby business college, where she was studying to become a legal secretary. But she liked to be independent. She worked part-time at a dime store, and she didn't like to accept cash or favors from her parents. Joe Wagner would sometimes go and fill the gas tank of her car on the sly when she wasn't at home. She contributed to the house on an equal footing with the adults, cooking Thanksgiving dinner for the whole family and making dresses for her sisters. Joe and Judy Wagner didn't know everything about their daughter, however, like the fact that the boyfriend she had been seeing lately was a married man. There was another side to Lauren, and as she got ready for an assignation with her lover on the evening of 28 November, it was this other side that was in charge. Lauren was excited about the date and took extra care with her clothes and makeup. When she walked down the stairs to head out the door, Judy was in the kitchen. She quietly gasped at how lovely her daughter looked. Lauren was an attractive girl, slender, with fair, unblemished skin and long, auburn red hair. When she went to special effort, she looked sensational. Lately, everyone had been talking about the Hillside Strangler. Everyone was scared for their daughters. Nobody wanted their girls going out alone at night. Judy felt a pang of faint misgiving, a gentle wave of anxiety as she stood in the kitchen with her daughter before she left. She brushed it away. Lauren was an adult now. She was smart and sensible. She knew all about the Strangler, and she promised to be home by 10. She always did exactly what she said she was going to do, so there was no reason to doubt her. But she looked so bright and trusting and vulnerable standing there in her pretty outfit. Judy lightly touched Lauren's cheek and told her to be careful. Lauren went to meet her boyfriend, and the two made love for several hours. She left him and drove home to Lamona Street at around 9:30 p.m. She was on a high as she approached her house, and the last thing on her mind was the Hillside Strangler. And what did she have to fear the Strangler for when she was just a few doors from her house? But as soon as Lauren slowed, there they were. They pulled up beside her. Lauren mightn't have thought anything was amiss, just some guys in a vehicle. Or she might have been trying to make a bolt for it. Either way, she attempted to get out of her car. Across the street, Caesar, a Doberman belonging to the Wagner's namer Beulah Stouffer, started barking loudly. Mrs. Stouffer, sickly and middle-aged, shuffled out to the front of her house to find out what all the drama was about. She knew something bad was going on, but she froze. She stood transfixed on the lawn behind the bushes and watched as Lauren was dragged by two men into a car. A sedan, dark-colored on the bottom and white on the top. One of the men was tall with black hair and fair skin, pockmarked around the neck. The other was shorter, older, with a wild, curly mane. Lauren screamed as the men shoved her into the car. "You won't get away with this!" Then, just like that, the door slammed shut and the car sped away. Beulah covered her mouth with her hand and swallowed hard. She knew what she had just seen. As she walked back into the house, wondering what she should do, who she should call, Lauren's words rang in her ears. It seemed like she knew who the men were, and as they drove her into the night, she must have known already what her fate would be. How terrifying. How utterly, utterly terrifying. Beulah didn't have to ponder her next move for long. That particular conundrum was solved for her. It wasn't much later that the telephone rang. Even though it was late, Beulah hesitantly picked up the receiver. A male voice with an East Coast accent spoke. "You the lady with the dog? You better keep your trap shut about what you seen. You say anything to anyone you're good is dead." Beulah, scared out of her wits, decided to do just as the man said.